by still waters, and he restores my soul.
यहोवा मेरे चरवाहे हैं, मुझे कुछ भी नहीं की कमी होगी। वह मुझे हरी घास के मैदानों में लिटाता है और वह मुझे अपनी बाहों में
Hi,
ले
my
जाता
name is
है।
Ken Schultz. I'm a pastor in Plainfield, Illinois, and I am so excited to share something with you today that I have been working on for at least a year now. And I think it'll revolutionize the way we can do ministry in our churches. And I'm a pastor who's written this code for it. It's called the Go Gospel Translator. It's a real-time preaching translator that will translate your voice to people as you're speaking. And I'd like to show it to you today, kind of give you the history of how this was formed. There was a family that came to us that the teenage daughter, came to Christ, and that was very exciting. And then her parents started coming, and the dad didn't speak English. And the mom asked me one day if I could invent something with AI that would translate the sermons to him as he sat there with his family. And I thought about it, and I worked on it all night. I went looking for something like this, and I couldn't find anything prepackaged, and I'm not a coder, but with all the things with AI today, we can do what's called vibe coding, and I vibe coded a script that would take transcription of my voice, kick it through the internet, back up to OpenAI, and translate my voice into Spanish, and then they would go over to another service, 11 Labs, and it would actually output it in my voice, which was cool, and it worked, and we used that for a few months, but there's a couple flaws in it. One, if you had any internet flaws, it would fall apart on you. Also, it cost money. It cost money for all those different services. And I got this vision that if something could go with us and go on the road on a small device, and then we could hook it up into any sound system and have real-time translation to the people we wanted to speak with, that would be exciting, because I've been on mission trips many times in Haiti and in Africa. The most frustrating thing is to not be able to speak the language in the country that you're in, or also sometimes dealing with your translators, because sometimes I've had translators. I had a translator last year in Sierra Leone that as I'm speaking, he sounded like a Mexican soccer announcer, and it sounded like goal with everything I was saying. All this punctuation, it was exciting. The crowd was excited, but I had no idea if he was transmitting what I was saying accurately, and that's important when it comes to our preaching and the gospel. So I wanted something that would work. And so I've been working on this for a year, and the goal was to develop it to do on something small, like a Raspberry Pi, a little mini computer like this that could throw in a backpack and use it. Unfortunately, the Raspberry Pi doesn't have enough horses to run it. So I started looking at different devices and local AI models that I could work specifically on a machine to make this happen. And I finally found that I could get it to work on a mini PC, about a $300 PC, or a laptop, a MacBook, or something along that line if it has an M1 chip, or a modern laptop with like Core 7, Core 9. It will work wonderfully. And so I developed it that way, and I've been working on it, trying to get it so that, and we've been using it actually for about 8 months on a little PC like this, no internet, and it works beautifully. But I've been working on it so that I could get it to all of you so that you could use it, and I finally have it. So let me demonstrate. You're probably tired of listening to me about it, but let me show you how it works. So let me flip over screens here, and you can see this is the interface, and I will stay with you right here in the bottom part of the screen so you can see me. So the way it's designed is that you pick a source language, and it could be multiple different source languages that you can pick. I'm going to just pick English there, and then I'm going to use a translation language of Spanish. And the beautiful thing about this is AI models are changing so quickly. You can use multiple different AI models in different languages. Sometimes they work better. And so through a program called a Llama, you can set up different things on there. I'll do a setup installation video on this as well. But then also you can choose what your input device is and what output device it is. So if you're running it through a soundboard, you can output it to your soundboard, and people can hear it. So you can choose different audio devices on your PC. And then you can choose the voice that goes to it. And I have many good quality voices that it can go out to in many different languages. I don't have every language that I can translate in terms of a good TTS voice, but I have many British and English voices that can come out. What I found I tried to originally use 11 Labs and actually clone my voice and have my actual voice go out, but I don't have the right accents. So these voices actually have the right accents, and they sound really good. So let me get started, and also all you have to do is once the application is loaded and you've got it ready and tested and everything ready to go in the middle of service, just hit start translation. So the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me by still waters, and he restores my soul.
Así que el Señor es mi pastor, no me faltará nada. Él me hace acostarme en aflicción. Y verdes praderas, Él me guía por aguas tranquilas y me restaura el alma.
Now, did you notice that was almost in real time? I mean, it's a couple seconds delay. The one I've been using for the last 8 months, it's probably about 6 or 7 seconds delay. And so sometimes I tell a joke and he laughs a minute later with his family, which is okay. But this is tracking very close, depending on the machine you're running it on, to almost real time. And they're wearing a headset so they can sit in the audience and enjoy it with their family. And so this is a great situation for people that have, services with people third and second generation, maybe different levels of language capability in the country that they're in. So it's a great thing. Now to change languages is as simple as let's just have some fun, and I'll change it to French, and I'll look for a French voice. There it is. Now, unfortunately, with France, I only have a female voice with a French accent, but I think we'll develop more voices along as we go. So the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, and he leads me by still waters, and he restores my soul.
Ainsi le Seigneur est mon berger, je ne crierai pas de manque. Il me fait paître dans les prés verdoyants. Les pâturages, et il me guide dans les eaux paisibles, et il restaure mon âme.
Welcome to Crosswinds Church. We're so glad that you're here today.
Bienvenue à l'église de Crossement. Nous sommes ravis que vous soyez ici aujourd'hui.
Thank you very much for coming and listening to this program.
Merci beaucoup d'être venu et d'écouter ce programme.
So you can see that it works very well in almost real time.
Donc vous pouvez voir que ça fonctionne très bien. Presque en temps réel.
So as you can see, it's very changeable. Let me do one more language just to show you. Let's do Japanese. So I'm just going to scroll through the different languages and find Japanese. I know it's in there. Well, you're getting a chance. Oh, there it is. See all the different languages. So I'm going to go to Japanese this time, and I'll find a Japanese voice. Now for Japanese, I have, so that's the translation target language. And then I'm going to switch to the voices. This is my list of voices. And then you can see I have China, Japan, and so I'm going to try this voice here. So I have multiple different voices, and you can select the one you want. And so let's try this. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, and he leads me by still waters, and he restores my soul.
主は私の羊飼いです。私は乏しくありません。彼は私を緑の牧草地へ導き、彼は私を緑の牧草地へ導きます。静かな水は私の魂を癒してくれる。
Okay, you can see how well that works. I'm going to stop translating. I may still get a little bit of a Japanese in the buffer coming out, but not every language do I have a great TTS voice, so you may have to experiment a little bit. Let's do Hindi, and I do believe I have a Hindi voice. India. Let's try that. And from English to target language Hindi, output India, and let's see. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, and he leads me by still waters, and he restores my soul.
यहोवा मेरे चरवाहे हैं, मुझे कुछ भी नहीं की कमी होगी। वह मुझे हरी घास के मैदानों में लिटाता है और वह मुझे अपनी बाहों में ले जाता है। मेरे पास शांत पानी और वह मेरी आत्मा को पुनर्जीवित करता है।
Okay, it'll go a little bit past the buffer because it doesn't lose any words that you say. It's designed that way. Just a couple of the features is you have some customizability for technical people. You can actually use OpenAI if you want. These are all OpenAI endpoints. You can change the server location. You can host this on a different server for the AI models if you want to do that and run it on a different machine. You can also change we all speak at different rates, and so you can kind of fine tune it to your speaking and get it working just the way you want to, because some of us talk faster or slower in our kind of natural voice. It'll keep up everything, but if you want to adjust a little bit, or speed-wise, maybe you want it to go longer blocks of text before it translates based on your speaking patterns. You have many adjustments to do that. You can also adjust it for CPU control, so how many threads, like I'm using right now a pretty strong PC, so I'm using 8 threads on the CPU, but maybe you have an older machine that you need to adjust that with. It's all hardware dependent, and since I want it to work on any hardware, any operating system, works on Mac, Linux, and Windows, and works well on all of them. I've tested all of them. And also, you can change the Whisper model. Whisper is the transcribing model that's transcribing my voice. It'll work on Tiny, which is the tiniest model, and it works well on Tiny model. And so for lower or older hardware, that might be your best choice. But if you've got a great GPU in your computer, you might go up into one of these others to get even higher transcription quality. But it depends on what's important to you, is the transcription quality or the speed. And so Tiny and Bass actually is working really well. That's what I'm using right now. And you can do some custom settings on what type of CPU you have on that are already in here. And then your audio text display, you can control how quickly it goes on your screen or doesn't go on your screen compared to your voice. So you do have quite a bit of features in the program as well to adjust it for yourself. And then the one last thing is you can view logs. And so let me refresh that. And so it's doing a log, and there's a log file that you can pull up every translation that it's made for you. I did it last Sunday as I was preaching about a 42-minute sermon. Preached a little bit long, but anyways, then I took the transcript and put it through 5 different top AI models like GPT-5 and Grok 4 and had it analyze the translation and how well it did during my sermon. And it was showing 85 to 95% translation quality. And where the downs were is when I used a cultural example that wouldn't make sense or wouldn't translate well. But in terms of the language, it translated well. Now, sometimes it's more formal language, but it's understandable. It's helping people to understand that don't already have the ability to understand it. So it's, and I've asked what is a good translator when they translate you. If they're hitting 85 to 95%, they're doing well. And especially a lot of times we are having volunteer translators wherever we're at. So it definitely can give you a lot of feedback, so you can see how well it's doing with you and your voice. And the other way you can utilize this is you can, if you wanted to sit in a meeting with leaders, you could change the source language, let's say to French, turn on your microphone and put on a pair of headphones, maybe a microphone that was catching what they were saying, and it would translate back to you what they're saying. So you could use it in reverse as well, which is really exciting. There's lots of possibilities with this. I haven't tested it yet, but I have a feeling you could use this over video if you get the outputs right, so you could talk or preach directly maybe through a Zoom link or a Teams link. So there's lots of possibilities, and we'll discover more. Well, Pastor, I'm excited for you to use this product. I developed this so that the gospel could go forth throughout the world, and that's what I'm excited about. There is a link on the GitHub page or on my website where you can buy me coffee there to help support the project, and I'd appreciate it because I have put hours and hours of work into this and self-funded it and bought hardware and tested different things to get it to this point, and that would help recoup my costs. But I also promise that I'm going to put 20% back into the mission field with lots of different organizations that support missions around the world. And I just hope that wherever your ministry is going or doing right now, that the Go Gospel Translate Now will be able to help you in the vision that you have to bring the gospel to the world. Thank you for your time today, and may God bless you.